welcome to today's class. This is World Changers Maths class. And today's topic is ordering of fraction. We'll be learning how to, arrange fraction from the smallest to the biggest. Now, when you come across this type of question in your exam, arrange 3 over 5, 1 over 5, 4 over 5, 7 over 5, and 2 over 5 from the smallest to the biggest. It's very easy. Now, when you see 2 or more fractions like this, you discover that these fractions, there are similarities. And what are the similarities? You discover that we have about 5 fractions here. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And you discover that they all have the same denominators. Now, when 2 or more fractions have the same denominators, how do you know the smallest from the biggest? Now, this is what to look at. You discover that they have the same denominators. Now, the fraction that have the highest number of numerator is the biggest fraction. The fraction that have the highest number of numerator is the biggest fraction. Why? The fraction that has the smallest number of numerator is the smallest fraction. Now, you discover that this is fraction A, this is fraction B. Let's label this fraction as fraction C, fraction D, fraction E. Now, don't forget that they all have the same denominators. And I said to us that if you want to know the smallest, the smallest fraction is the fraction that has the smallest number of numerator. Now, the fraction that has the smallest number of numerator here, if you can consider and pay a close attention to the numerator, fraction S has a numerator of number 3. Fraction B has a numerator of number 1. Fraction C has a numerator of number 4. Fraction D has a numerator of number 7. And fraction E has a numerator of number 2. Now, what is the smallest fraction here? The smallest fraction here is fraction B, followed by fraction E, followed by fraction A, followed by fraction C, and followed by fraction D. Now, how do we arrange this fraction now from the smallest to the what? To the biggest. Fraction B is 1 over 5, followed by fraction E, which is what? 2 over 5, followed by fraction A, which is what? 3 over 5, followed by fraction C, which is 4 over 5, and what? And D, fraction D, which is 7 over 5. It's very, very simple. You discover that 1 over 5 is smaller than 2 over 5, and 2 over 5 is smaller than 3 over 5, 3 over 5 is smaller than 4 over 5, while 7 over 5 is the greatest fraction here. I believe you've learned 1 or 2 things into this class. I want you to consider this as your own dream. Arrange this fraction, this set of fraction from the smallest to the biggest. 3 over 7, 1 over 7, 2 over 7, and 4 over 7. Thank you, and God bless.